Hello there, it's Friday, so the week is finally coming to an end, and all week long there have really been two big stories that we've been tracking. China, of course, and the spread of the coronavirus. So on the coronavirus, of course, as we can see, a record number of new cases are being registered virtually every day. India is going to probably end up being the third most affected country within a week or 10 days, overtaking Russia. But that's in absolute cases that we've been telling you all along. In the terms of active cases and in the terms of the deaths that we're actually seeing, the numbers are a little better. But yes, the total number of cases are rising and rising fast. And that's why, although an unlock is scheduled on the 30th of June, not very clear what's going to be permitted. We've heard some areas like Gurugram, for example, saying that shopping malls will be opened up. There was some debate as to whether international flights will resume. Now it's fairly clear that that's not going to be happening until at least the 15th of next month, and perhaps not even after that. Let's see how coronavirus pans out. Now, the other big subject, of course, is China, and continues to be China, where obviously both sides are continuing to build up their presence there, and we've been seeing India also reinforcing its own position in Ladakh. We heard a very interesting comment coming in from the American side last night, where Pompeo actually told European leaders that one of the reasons why the US is pulling out a little bit from Europe is because we want to move more resources to Asia, which is where China is putting pressure on a number of countries, including India and countries in and around the South China Sea. So that's an interesting statement. We'll have to see what will emerge from that. But overall, it has to be said that there's been a certain amount of confusion that's been raging for the last couple of days, especially on the precise situation in the Galwan Valley. These days, satellite pictures are available to just about anybody. And so images like this are out there on Twitter, on social media, and everyone's having, pretty much a field day trying to interpret what exactly are those structures that are there at that point, PP14 in the Galwan Valley. What exactly is the precise situation and so. And with uncertainty, that also means that there is a lot of political turmoil that is bound to result. And today we heard both Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi coming out with a very all-out attack on the government, saying you must come clean. Are the Chinese in our territory? What's happening? What about the sacrifice of our soldiers? You need to tell us what's happening. And that's perhaps something which the government would also be too well to think about. It's probably time to start having a more regular series of briefings and factual interpretation of whatever is emerging on the ground, because that's the best way to squash the rumors. That's what happened at Cargill. And at the end of the day, the government did come out and have regular briefings, constant briefings, explaining the situation on the ground, and that prevented rumors from starting to spread. So that's just a piece of casual advice that I will throw in at the end for the government. But for the moment, let's just bring you up to date with all the big stories this Friday evening.
The centre is likely to issue guidelines for the second phase of unlock by June 30th. According to reports, international air travel on select routes will be allowed to resume. Delhi, New York and Mumbai, New York are the two international routes that are likely to be allowed, reports said. Schools, colleges and educational institutions are likely to remain closed as state governments are apprehensive about the move. Metro services are also likely to remain suspended.
According to the Ministry of Health, as on Friday morning, there are 4,90,401 confirmed coronavirus cases in India, of which 1,89,463 are active cases, while 2,85,636 people have been cured. 15,301 deaths have been reported. Among the states, Maharashtra is the worst affected, followed by Delhi and Tamil Nadu.
After Aam Aadmi Party government in Delhi fixed the price of COVID beds in private hospitals following the Niti Aayog recommendations, Haryana and West Bengal governments too followed suit. In Haryana, isolation beds in a non-NABH hospital will cost 8,000 rupees, while ICU bed with ventilator will cost 15,000 rupees. In NABH accredited hospitals, isolation beds will cost 10,000 rupees and ICU with a ventilator will cost 18,000 rupees. The West Bengal government also capped the price of coronavirus treatment in private hospitals in the state and restricted the cost of testing to 2,250 rupees. Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee also said that the cost of PPE kits should not exceed 1,000 rupees each day. With more than 17,000 fresh coronavirus cases reported on Friday in a new single-day high, the centre is rushing teams of experts to Telangana, Maharashtra and Gujarat, the Indian Express has reported. The three states with high positivity rates that are considered critical in the efforts against the pandemic. The government is said to be especially concerned about Telangana, where testing has remained low and positivity rate high. The state's high positivity rate has led to fears that a large number of cases might be going undetected.
In view of the COVID-19 outbreak, the Directorate General of Civil Aviation has said that all commercial international flight operations to and from India will remain suspended till the 15th of July. Union Civil Aviation Minister Hardeep Singh Puri earlier said that regular international flight services could be resumed when the domestic traffic would reach about 50 to 60% and other countries would open up to international traffic without present conditions. After a long gap of 2 months, domestic flight operations resumed in India on the 25th of May.
Kerala reported over 100 COVID-19 cases for the 7th consecutive day on Thursday, taking the total number of infections in the state to 3,726. Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan said 123 new cases were confirmed, out of which 84 came from abroad, 33 from other states, while 6 contracted the disease through their contacts.
Congress interim President Sonia Gandhi cornered the Prime Minister yet again on the India-China border clash in eastern Ladakh's Galwan Valley. She said while the PM categorically stated that Chinese troops did not infiltrate into Indian territory, yet the Ministry of External Affairs and the Defence Ministry seem to suggest the contrary. Sonia said the nation wants to know how the 20 Indian soldiers were killed.
अगर चीन ने लद्दाख में हमारी सरजमी पर कब्जा नहीं किया जैसा प्रधानमंत्री कहते हैं तो फिर हमारे 20 सैनिकों की शहादत क्यों और कैसे हुई?
India has decided to increase its strength along the line of actual control as Beijing continues its troop build-up on the other side, NDTV has reported. Not just the army, the Indo-Tibetan Border Police is also shoring up its posts with men and material. Reports indicate that the situation at 3 flashpoints, Galwan Valley, Hot Springs and Pangong Lake, is still tense despite talks between both sides. Satellite images shown on NDTV yesterday show fresh Chinese construction on an embankment near Patrol Point 14 in Galwan, reports said. The disengagement of Indian and Chinese forces from friction areas along the contested line of actual control would be a cumbersome and long-drawn process, the Hindustan Times has reported, quoting army sources. Responding to some reports of a slight retreat by both armies in Galwan Valley, army officers said that the disengagement of forces has not yet begun, reports said. You can say it's going to play out like a test match and not T20 cricket. It'll be a cumbersome, complicated and long-drawn exercise, the report quoted an army officer as saying. The US has said that it's reducing its military presence in Europe and moving troops to counter China's threat to India and South Asia. The US Secretary of State Mike Pompeo told the Brussels Forum virtual conference on Thursday that the actions of the Chinese Communist Party meant that they were threats to India and countries such as Vietnam, Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines and South China Sea. The US military is postured appropriately to meet these challenges of our time, he said.